Operator, can you please connect me with OTR Halloween Holidays? I don't want to miss this episode of the Bah Ghoulie Show.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are seated before the dials of your radio receiver, listening to a faint voice from the blackness beyond, while the one who speaks with words of friendship is debating the destruction of your world.
Listen now as Escape brings you Michael Gray's exciting story, The Invader.
Here in the Nevada desert, our forward observation post is a slit trench less than 2 miles from ground zero of Operation Doorstep 8A bomb test. The time exactly 30 seconds to H hour. That's the voice of our official guide, Colonel Jim Donovan.
All personnel put on protective glasses and get below trench revetments. We have H hour minus 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There it goes. There it is. You'll hear the sound of the explosion any second now.
Did you see that flash, Commander?
Yes. Check the cyclo gauges for reaction.
Yes, sir. No reaction, 0 count. What an extraordinary race.
Very primitive. The main object appears to be to kill each other off at periodic intervals.
I wonder why the Council doesn't order extinction.
There's hope. That's why we've been sent.
But the red zero discs vanished on the same job last Delo. Why waste more lives? The things should be exterminated.
Don't be unscientific. The Red Zero discs probably disobeyed orders and landed on water.
Water?
Yes, water.
Oh, what a place. What do they call those creatures, Commander?
Humans.
Humans. What an odd name.
I'm afraid they're a very odd race.
That you, Al?
Oh, yes, Martha.
I saw the bomb test on television this morning. You see it in school?
No, dear.
Oh. Where are you going now?
Into the lab. Call me when dinner's ready, will you, dear? Yeah, let's see.
Albert, I want to talk to you.
Huh?
I said I want to talk to you.
Oh, yes, dear, of course.
I saw Mrs. Warren today.
Yes, dear.
Will you stop messing around and pay attention to what I'm saying?
Yes, dear.
I should merely like to remind you that Mrs. Warren is your school principal's wife. She hinted that he's not pleased with your work. In fact, he's not pleased at all. Albert, did you hear what I said?
Yes, yes, dear.
Come back here. Now, stand still and listen to me. How do you think I feel having the principal's wife laughing at you and laughing at me, too? This is the third job you've had in the past 2 years, and you are going to keep this one. I know it's hard for a scientific genius to settle down teaching 12th grade chemistry, but this time you're going to stick, I mean it, Albert. You're making yourself the laughing stock of the school with your crazy experiments, and it's got to stop. I'm just not going to spend the rest of my life following you around from job to job like a gypsy.
Well, of course, dear. Oh, I understand.
You'd better understand. I'm not going to stand for it anymore. And if you're not down for dinner in 5 minutes, there won't be any dinner for you.
Commander? Magnetron's oscillating.
Probably magnetic storms.
No, it's a definite signal on our channel. Perhaps the council's calling.
Raise and bring it in.
Station MXA calling. Station MXA calling. Station MXA. Over and out.
That's not the council. Check the frequency.
It's the emergency band.
Somebody's playing a joke. Tell them to clear the ether.
Stellar Disk White 0 now. Who's called?
Moment. Ask for code check.
Stellar Disk White 0 now. Give name. Code check.
Station MXA. Where are you?
Give me the frequent tone. Listen, MXA. This is Commander of Delta Ship White 0 Null on space mission. Get off this channel. Make a note for the log. We'll report it back to the council. What was his identification?
Sounded like MXA.
MXA. MXA. Check the cyclo listing.
There's no such station listed, Riss.
There must be. Cross-check and fix.
Yes, Riss. No. Absolutely no listing.
Oh, no. It's impossible. Those blundering primates couldn't have the intelligence
What's primates, Riss?
Humans. It's incredible, but... Use the Magna Band. We'll keep emergency open. Fix and raise MXA immediately.
Delta Ship White 0 Null. Delta Ship White 0 Null.
Are you coming down to supper?
Oh, Martha. Martha, it's amazing. I've made contact. I spoke to them.
Spoke to who?
The Delta White 0 Null. I've checked the station list. There's no such call sign. It means only one thing, Martha. One thing. Space. Men in space. You know what that means,
Oh,
Martha?
stop it. Albert, when are you going to grow up? Your dinner's getting cold.
Commander Delta White 0 Null, calling station MXA. Where are you located?
Commander Delta White 0 Null. This is station MXA. MXA. I'm located at La Mirada, California.
What planet?
Planet Earth. That's continent of North America. Who are you? Repeat who you are. Over.
Are you humans?
Yes. You aren't...
No, of course not. We're of Epsilon from the race of planetoid Delta.
Delta.
On mission of exploration for the Council.
Council?
The Council of Quantum Major of the Nebulae Ursula. We're arriving in your atmosphere in 2 delos more to examine your planet. We cannot continue this unauthorized contact without permission from the Council. If granted, We will raise contact again at your earliest flight time tomorrow.
Oh, did you hear that, Martha? Did you hear?
Are you or are you not coming down to dinner?
Oh, I've done it. Out there in space is another intelligence, another race. And I've made contact.
For the last time, are you coming down
Martha,
for dinner?
listen, I've made one of the most important discoveries of the century. The first contact with another world, another people, or something. Think what it'll mean for civilization. Think what they'll bring. Maybe a whole new way of life.
It's just another one of those radio amateur friends of yours playing a joke.
No, Martha, that's impossible. The frequency's completely outside the UHF band. No station could even reach the range, much less transmit speech. Oh, yes, tomorrow I can ask questions now. I can find out more.
All right,
about that.
now, I've stood enough. I've watched you wreck job after job with your silly crackpot ideas. I've been hoping that you'd come to your senses.
But you heard, Martha.
I've put up with this pile of junk long enough. If you don't come to your senses once and for all, I'm through with you.
Oh, but Martha...
I'll give you 5 minutes more to wash and get downstairs, or I'm through, Albertana. I mean it. Albert.
Yeah.
Wake up, Albert. It's 7.
I'm kind of 7. 7. Oh, yes, of course.
Hurry up and get showered, or you'll be late.
Of course. Oh, I mustn't be late. My. Let me see now. Early light time. Oh, I hope I'm not late.
Where are you going?
He said he'd make contact early, light time. Don't worry about breakfast, dear. Just fix some coffee.
You're getting showered and dressed now. Now, do you hear me? You know what the principal said the last time you were late.
Martha, I'm not going to school.
Yo.
Oh, I can't.
What?
Don't you understand, dear? Today I'm going to contact Delta White Null. In fact, I'm going to contact him right now.
You mean to tell me that you're risking your job for that crazy...
Oh, Martha, it's not crazy. Nobody on this earth could have transmitted on that frequency. There's only one explanation.
All right. I can see that there's only one solution to this. And you've asked for it.
Martha, don't. Martha, stop. What are you going to do? Martha!
Get away from that door.
Martha,
By the
please.
time I finish with this place, get out of my way. All you'll need is a broom.
Martha, stop! Stop it, I say, Martha! Now, then. You listen to me for a change. For 14 years, I've been teaching sniveling little monsters to blow themselves up for less money than a garbage collector. And for 10 years, I've listened to you nag me out of any sort of manhood. But if you lay one finger on that equipment or come in this room again without my express permission, I'll kill you.
We will return to Escape in just a moment. But first, in your town, in the next town, across the nation, you'll find the Red Cross. But the Red Cross is above and beyond all boundary lines, for it is infinite in its scope. In time of hardships, epidemics, floods, fires, the Red Cross is the symbol and soul of humanity. You are part of that symbol because it is the money that you contribute that enables the Red Cross to continue its great work. Answer the call, and humanity will answer you with gratitude. And now, back to Escape.
XA calling Delta White 0 null. Station MXA calling Delta White 0 null.
This is Delta White Zero Null to station MXA. Can you read us?
You're coming in loud and clear.
Council authorizes to continue contact. What is your name and function?
My name's Tanner. Albert Tanner. I'm a chemistry teacher at La Mirada High School.
A scientist?
Yes. Well, kind of, in a way.
We too have servants of learning. Did you construct this magnetron channel?
Yes, but I'm afraid it's a bit elementary. I had to use war surplus stuff, and that's never very satisfactory.
Oh. Is there war in your territory at this moment?
Oh, no, Commander. Oh, everything's quite peaceful here.
Good. We're looking for a suitable land space and don't want to arrive in the middle of your hostilities.
You'd be very welcome, Commander. We've plenty of space and open fields all around us here. It'd be a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Tanner.
You're welcome, Commander. Might I ask, what is the position of your planet?
Planetoid Delta is 5 light years behind the summer solstice.
I'm afraid I don't understand that.
In elementary mathematical formulae, its gamma is to the power of epsilon to the 7th vector.
Oh, of course. Yes, of course. Now, how is it we haven't observed your planetoid before? I couldn't find you on any of our star atlases.
We're exactly opposite your sun. This would make observation by ordinary optical instruments impossible. But with our magnetic electroscopes, we're able to filter out the sol rays and observe you perfectly.
I see. Oh, I see, Commander. When do you expect to arrive?
By your time, late in your so-called afternoon. We shall determine that by later contact.
And, Commander, might I ask a personal question?
Of course.
What do you, what do you look like?
Like all members of the race Delta of the nebulae Ursula, of course. Is there any other way to look?
Mirada Police Department, Sergeant Williams.
This is Mrs. Tanner, 35 Crescent Heights. My husband just made contact with a Delta Zero something in space, and they're going to land this afternoon.
Oh, would you say that a little slower, please?
I said that the men from space are going to land this afternoon. I heard my husband talking to them. You've got to send some policemen out here, because I'm afraid...
Oh, yes, ma'am. Now, take it easy. How did you say your husband got this information?
Through the radio. I mean,
sure.
he got through his radio.
Sure, I understand. These spacemen radioed your husband.
But I keep telling you, I heard them. The door was open. I could hear them very distinctly. Oh, please, you've got to send help.
Yeah,
please.
This sounds like a matter for the Army, Mrs. Tanner. Why don't you call them?
Oh, but I don't see why I can't go. Oh, all right, I'll call them. Oh, what's their number? Oh, please, hurry, tell me.
One moment.
Oh, please, hurry. Are you still there? Please.
It's Mirada 4637.
Yes, thank you. I'll call them right away.
Yeah, you do that, Mrs. Tanner.
Yes,
they'll take care of
it. Four, 6, 3. Oh, no. M-I 4, 6, 3, 7. Oh, please, hurry, please, Oh.
U.S. Army, Camp Reynolds.
Can I speak to somebody in charge, please? It's urgent, it's very
What's
urgent.
it about, please?
We're being invaded by Delta White. I mean, it's spaceships that are coming.
Hold the line, please. I'll give you the duty officer.
Are you still there?
Officer of the day, Lieutenant Jacobs.
My name is Mrs. Tanner, Mrs. Albert Tanner, 35 Crescent Heights. Now, please, you've got to send soldiers out here right away. My husband is talking to them.
Oh, that's interesting, Commander. How long you been in space?
By your time, 5 months. But remember, our speed is twice the speed of light.
Uh-huh. Do you use atomic energy?
Discarded in our bleak age. We use the natural magnetic forces that surround the universe.
What about friction heat caused by your velocity through the atmosphere?
Our speed is adjustable by control of the magnetic fields we ride in. In any case, the disc hull is of traxendium. It's pressured to withstand anything. Anything that is but water.
But water. But everything in nature has water. Even the human body is 80% water.
What? You have water in your body?
Yes, it's in different forms, say such as blood or sweat, but it's still water.
Thank you for warning us.
What's wrong with water?
To humans, apparently nothing. But to our life form, water is a deadly corrosive.
But our atmosphere contains water.
We know, and have sufficient exterior protection for the moisture of your atmosphere. Did you say your habitation was inland?
Yes, you're perfectly safe, sir. We're over 100 miles from the nearest ocean or river. Now, if you will follow my carrier signal down to the landing, you'll be all right.
Thank you, Tanner. I'll report your assistance to the council. Do you think your authorities will object to our visit?
I'm sure they won't, sir. They'll be honored. We'll all be honored.
Listen, man. I'm either mad nor is this a joke. Are you or are you not going to help?
Mrs. Tanner, the CO's away for the weekend, and I've got an appointment. Can't it wait till Monday?
Look, either you send help right away, or I'll send a report of your conduct to my congressman with a copy to your commanding general.
Yes, Mrs. Tanner. I'll be over.
Do you really trust that human, Commander?
Well, there isn't much option. We've orders to carry out. It's an incredible race, but Tanner seems harmless enough.
We're meeting pressure, Riss.
Probably entering the outer atmosphere. Better start degaussing and settle on his carrier.
2700. 02. No change.
Switch on the water oscillograph.
Oscillograph on.
Variation?
None.
Good. We'd better check again with Tanner until we see ground.
Right away, Riss.
Delta to MXA. Delta to MXA. Over.
MXA 2 Delta, you're in, loud and strong.
We're entering your atmosphere.
I'll check your approach on radar and keep tracking you.
We're going off ether. Leave your channel open.
Yeah, Martha, I thought I told you to...
This is Lieutenant Jacobs from Camp Reynolds, Albert. I heard you talking to the Delta man, and I was so scared.
Your wife was worried, so she wanted me to come over.
Oh, I see. I suppose she told you a story about men from space?
Well, yes, sir.
Oh, all right. You probably think I'm crazy, but you'll see. They're coming in right now, using my channel as a ground approach. You been through signal school?
I'm from 27th Signal Corps, sir.
I see. Then you'll recognize the equipment.
There's something wrong, Riss.
Wrong. Reverse the fields. Quick.
There's water.
Tanner.
We're approaching water, Riss.
Tanner. Cross-check our position. We have a danger reading.
You're heading straight for us, Commander. You're safe. Why, you're perfectly safe.
Check it again.
There's a great deal of water.
Did you check it again?
Yes, I did. There's a great deal of water, Riss.
Tanner.
A great big body of
There's
water.
water down there. Tanner, our signals are a danger. Strong danger. Cross-check your fix. Counter-reverse the magnet. It's water. It's water. Masses and masses of water. Tanner! We've hit water! It's an ocean! Help! Help! We're burning! Ah!
Delta? Delta! What's happened?
Cross-check their position, sir. The signal's getting weaker, but your fix is right. It's within 100 yards of this set.
Let's get outside. Maybe it crashed into the fields.
Where is it? There's nothing out there.
But there must be. Maybe it crashed into the trees, or... Come on, come on.
Albert! Albert! Look! Look!
Doc!
I'll read it, sir, but I don't
Go
think
on. Go on.
On Saturday, July 14th at 1400 hours, a telephone call was received from Mrs. Albert Tanner, etc., and so forth. And on going out to the back lot, we could see no sign of the space disc. Our attention was then drawn by Mrs. Tanner to the fish pond from which steam could be seen rising. On inspecting the pond, a small circular object approximately 8 inches in diameter could be seen floating on the surface. On attempting to retrieve the object, it disintegrated as if attacked by a powerful corrosive. End of report.
Well, you forgot about the men inside. You've got to say something about their size.
We never saw them, Mr. Tanner.
Well, what do you do? Don't do that! Well, Lieutenant, you can't tear that...
Mr. Tanner, I'm doing this for both of us. If I sent in the report, nobody would believe it. It's better this way.
No! It's the truth! You saw it happen. Why, you know it happened.
The only thing I know is there's no proof. As far as I'm concerned, it didn't happen. I never saw anything. I never heard anything. That's going to be my report, Mr. Tanner. No occurrence. Incident closed. Good afternoon, Mr. Tanner.
Under the direction of Anthony Ellis, Escape has brought you The Invader by Michael Gray, starring Howard McNear. Fay Baker was heard as Martha, with Edgar Barrier as the commander. Featured in the cast were Paul Frees, Peter Leeds, Bill Bissell, and Leroy Leonard. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are alone on the deck of a stinking convict ship, becalmed in a yellow fog, while somewhere in the dark below you, free from the cells that held them, is a deadly band of murderers seeking out your life.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Weston Martyr's exciting story, A Sleeping Draft. Tomorrow night, Lux Radio Theater brings back The Miracle of Our Lady of Fatima for another thrilling performance. 11-year-old Susan Whitney recreates her original screen role as the child who first saw the prophetic vision, co-starring with J. Carrol Naish. Also, tomorrow night, and most of these same CBS radio stations, don't miss Joseph Cotton in Suspense's eerie production of the musical drama Tom Dooley. This is Roy Rowan speaking. And remember, daytime is a gay time with Arthur Godfrey Time on the CBS Radio Network.
It's intermission time at the Bah Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. Good evening, Ghoulies. Hope you're all enjoying the radio show. Don't forget tonight's Midnight Spook Show over at Channel Watchwaddle's Darkness of the Hours. So be sure to have yourself a cup of coffee and stay awake. Now, back to our radio show. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwaddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you transcribed a story of a very ordinary family and what happens when a UFO lands in their backyard. We call it Heavens to Betsy. So now, starring Trude Marson and Hy Averback, here is tonight's suspense play, Heavens to Betsy.
A lot of people might call what happened to the Doyles a fantasy, or an allegory, or mass hysteria, or just about anything. But it happened, no matter what you call it. And you couldn't convince the government, a half-dozen army men, and the Doyles that it didn't. In particular, you couldn't convince Betsy Doyle. The day it started wasn't much different to any other day. It was about 5 o'clock in the evening, and there was a thunder and rainstorm hanging around the suburb where the Doyles lived. Henry Doyle was still at the bank, about to leave for home. Betsy Doyle was in the kitchen cooking dinner, and 8-year-old Dickie Doyle was listening to the radio.
So, Captain Spaceman, you are ready to tell us where you have hidden the galactic astroprism?
Never, Pathoth. With all your secret knowledge, if you're really so smart, you should be able to use your visio-autoscope and find out for yourself.
Unfortunately, while you put up such a tremendous, although useless struggle against the Royal Soldiers of Gramick, the visio-autoscope was smashed. It will take 2 days to repair it, and I cannot afford to wait.
That's too bad, Pathoth.
Then I am afraid I have no other alternative.
Darn it.
Are you all right, dear?
Oh, sure, Mom, but the darn
Oh, it must have been
radio.
a thunderbolt. It was awfully close. I felt it. Shook the house. Frightened me to death.
Oh, Mom, it's an electrical storm, that's all.
Well, that's all it is to you, but I don't like it. Hope your father gets home early. I hate him being out in this.
Oh, darn radio. Well, maybe a tube's gone out. I'll take it.
No, you won't. Don't you touch that thing. You turn it off right now.
But Captain Space...
I don't care. It's dangerous having the radio on in a storm like this.
Oh, Mom, that's silly.
Please. Please do as I ask you, Dickie. Makes me nervous.
Okay.
You can help me in the kitchen if you want.
Oh, I guess I'll read a book or something.
Why don't you bring it in the kitchen and read it? You can keep me company. I wish you would.
Okay, Mom.
Hello?
Hello, Bets. Are you all right over there?
Ella? Hi. Oh, sure, we're fine. Wasn't that something? I thought it was right on the house.
Oh, I was scared, too. I looked out the window and I saw the flash. It looked like it was in your backyard.
Oh, thank heavens it wasn't.
Must have been on the other side of the tree.
I guess so. Honey, I've got to get back to my dinner. I'll call you back.
Okay.
That's how it started. The great flash, the explosion, and there was only static to speak for the radio. Dickie took his latest space science comic book to the kitchen and became lost in willowy women of the future and their comrades in bravery, super ray gun-armed, invincible globe-headed, granite-jawed heroes. His mother prosaically made dumplings for the stew. It was 5 minutes to 6 when the phone rang again.
Will you get it, dear? My hand.
Sure, Mom.
Hello? Oh, hello, Bets.
This is Richard Doyle.
Oh, Dickie, this is Mrs. Gilbert, dear. Is everything all right over there? Can I talk to your mother?
Mom's making dumplings. She can't come to the phone.
Oh. Well, ask her what that funny glow is over your way. Is there a fire in the woods? Did the thunderbolts set fire to something?
I don't see anything. No fire around here, Mrs. Gilbert. Besides, the rain would put out a fire.
Well, there is something glowing, Dickie. I can see it from my window. I don't know why you can't. It's right out there near your house.
Maybe it's out the back. I'll take a look, Mrs. Gilbert.
All right, dear.
Who is it, Dickie?
Miss Gilbert, Mom. She says there's a glow around here somewhere.
Glow?
Yeah, she thought it was a fire. I'm going to take a look out back.
Oh, no, you're not. It's pouring out there. You can pull up the shade and see out the window.
Okay.
I'll be glad when your father gets home. I don't like these storms. Dickie, will you... What's that?
I don't know, Mom. I guess it's what Mrs. Gilbert was talking about. Kind of a glow.
Oh, it's in the backyard. It's on fire.
No, it isn't. It's just something shining like...
Pull down the shade. Pull down the shade. Hurry. Hurry.
Oh,
here.
Mom.
Oh, don't you be scared. We've got to think. What would your father do? Maybe we'd better
You better give your old man a kiss. Hi, son.
Oh, Henry, darling. I didn't hear you come in.
No, I guess you didn't.
I'm so... Dear, there's something out there.
Where?
In the back. We saw it. No! Oh, you mustn't go out.
I don't get it. What?
Look.
See, Dad? All shining and glowy.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. Ella called and said she saw it from her house, didn't she, Dickie?
Yeah. Oh, hey,
All
Mom.
right. Quiet, son. We've got to investigate this.
Yeah, but
Son,
Dad...
there's something out there, all right. No question about that. Can't see too well. The shrubs are in the way.
It's like neon lights, only all over. You going out there, Dad? Can I come with you?
Son, this is one of those times I was telling you about. Fools rush in where brave men fear to tread. You remember me telling you that?
Yes, Dad.
Well, this is one of those times.
Mr. Doyle turned back to the window and stood staring out into the wet night, softly radiant from the glow in his backyard. He was a man to whom the unusual rarely, if ever, happened. A man who in his teens dreamed of adventure and heroism, and his 20s dreamed of adventure and heroism, and now in his late 30s still dreamed of adventure. The heroism, at least, was tempered by knowledge of his own weaknesses. His life had been ordinary, and he could never completely forgive life for that. Now there was something out there in the night, and he knew that it was the beginning of a great moment. He thought,
I don't know what it is, but it's different. I can feel it. I know it. I'm a little afraid to go out and see, but I want to. It's my chance, whatever it is. It's come to me, to Betsy. It might even...
Dad? Dad, what do you think? What do you think it is?
Oh, yes, son. I was looking at it. This is a time for caution. Betsy, go up and get my pistol, will you?
No. No, I will not. You call the police, the fire department.
It's not a fire. It's a thing. Probably perfectly harmless, but I want to make sure.
Oh, Henry,
Dickie, get my
please.
pistol, will you?
Oh, boy, sure, Dad. Be right back.
I don't want you to go out. Henry, if you love me, you'll...
I love you, and I'm going to find out what it is.
Oh, here you are, Dad.
Thank you, son.
Well, if you're going, I'm going too.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Dickie, you get my raincoats in the hall.
Okay, Mom.
Honey.
There's no use talking. I'm going. What do you think it is in the yard?
I don't know. But I've got an idea.
Oh, here, Mom. Can I come too, Dad? Can I?
No, son, you stay here.
Oh.
All right, Henry. I'm ready.
All right. Come on, and stay behind me. You understand?
I'll watch from the window.
Yes, you do that, son.
It's so bright. That light.
Well, we'll get a good look at it when we get past the shrubs.
Henry. Look.
You wanted to know what it is? I'll tell you. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened in the world. I knew it would happen someday. It's a UFO, that's what it is. A flying saucer.
You are listening to Heavens to Betsy, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Driving tonight? CBS Radio hopes you're not taking any chances. It takes only a split second to turn a gambler into a corpse on today's highways. Keep in line when your vision ahead's obscured. Keep well back of the car in front of you. When you ride up on his tailpipe, you're assuming all his risks, too. Don't pass until you've got a clear lane for it with no opposing traffic in it for a safe distance and then some. Play it smart and survive.
And now, we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Truda Marson and Hy Averback, starring in tonight's production, Heavens to Betsy, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
That's what it was, all right. No longer an unidentified flying object, but a very real flying saucer. Henry Doyle believed in saucers, and this one had landed in their backyard and lay in the mud, glowing, a soft, rich, silvery glow. They were lost in excitement, and with it went their normal Earth-like fear. Together they walked around it.
Well, I figure 8 feet long and 3 wide and it's about 2 feet high. Wouldn't you say that, Bets?
I guess so. There's no door, no windows or anything. How are the people going to get out?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's that?
Hmm?
Siren. Somebody else must have seen it. I'll bet it's the police.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Come on, let's get inside.
What are you going to do?
If they come here, you let me do the talking. I don't want you or Dickie to say a word.
But Henry,
I want you to promise me this is the most important thing in our lives. I mean it, Bets. You promise?
What's got into you, Henry? You're so funny.
All right,
just don't...
all right, I'll tell you. This thing, this saucer, it doesn't surprise me, see? I've known this was going to happen. I'm not like those people who laugh and make jokes about it. I knew it was coming. Up there on some planet, it's been planned for a long time, a billion miles away. They didn't surprise Henry Doyle, though. No. This is big. Bigger than you can imagine. And maybe we're the first people in the world to know about it. That's why. From here on, no matter what happens, I want you to let me do the talking. Do you understand?
Yes, Henry.
Is something wrong, officer?
Well, that's what we want to find out. I got a call from a Mrs. Gilbert down the road. Said she called you a few minutes ago, and the kid answered and then went away and didn't come back.
Oh, gee, the phone. I forgot. Mom, Mrs. Gilbert.
Well, what's it all about?
What's what all about, officer?
Well, Mrs. Gilbert says there's a light or a glow or something over here. Well, I don't know. You got a thing that glows here? I couldn't figure out what she was trying to say.
Well, nothing wrong here, is there, Bets?
No, nothing.
It beats me.
Well, Mrs. Gilbert is kind of nervous in storms. You know how it is.
Dad, aren't you going to
Son, you better get your hands washed for supper. Supper time, isn't it, dear?
Heavens, yes, and everything will be ruined.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry you had the trip for nothing, officer. Well, now, I'm glad everything's all right.
Maybe we better take a look out back just to be on the safe side, huh?
Why? I was just out there. It's fine.
All the same, can't take chances, you know. Back door through here?
Now, listen. This is my house. A man's house is his castle. If anything were wrong, I wouldn't be telling you everything's okay, would I?
Oh, we'll just take a minute.
Dinner's ready, dear.
Well, you go ahead, folks. I'll take a... Holy. What's that?
What?
That.
I don't see anything.
What do you got out there? Something on fire?
Oh, that. Oh, nothing. Just a lighting arrangement. Kind of pretty, don't you think?
Lighting? That's no lighting. Both of you stay here. No funny business. I'm going to take a look.
The officer took a look, didn't believe what he saw, took another look, and the secret was out. He put in a call for the riot squad and waited. Henry thought for a while, then a slow anger grew in him. It was his flying saucer, Betsy's flying saucer. It belonged to the Doyles. More than that, he knew it was his one chance for fame, to offset the dull obscurity of his daily life. Henry Doyle objected, and because she loved her husband, Betsy objected.
You've no right to do this, officer.
You're trespassing on my property, and you haven't got a warrant.
There's no good saying, My husband is right.
That saucer is mine. It's on my land. My land is paid for. It belongs to me.
Disturbing the peace.
Disturbing you. It isn't disturbing us. It isn't disturbing anybody. It's just sitting.
Well, there's enemies inside.
Who said they were enemies?
Well, it's a fake.
You just said it was full of enemies.
Now, look, lady. This thing's got me real upset. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm scared, if you want to know. But I'm a police officer, and I got a job to do, and I'm staying here until I'm told otherwise.
The riot squad came, the sergeant, followed by the inspector, followed by the chief of police. Henry Doyle said,
"This is my house, my property, my flying saucer. You have no warrant. Get out of my house. Get off my property."
Betsy agreed with every word. Then the FBI came, followed by some extremely important gentlemen in uniform. Henry was not impressed.
I don't care what you say. In the morning, I'm going to see a lawyer. No, I'm going to get the federal district attorney. A man's house is his castle. You're all trespassing.
Now, listen,
no,
Mr. Doyle.
You listen, General. Sure. I know you're real interested in my saucer. Of course, when a few other fellas like me were trying to convince you they existed, you laughed at us. Well, now I'm laughing. Ha ha. My wife's laughing, too. It's in our backyard. It stays there.
But have you any idea what kind of beings are in it? Did you ever stop to consider that they may be hostile to the earth?
Well, that's my tough luck, not yours. It's my bit of earth. You're not gonna touch that saucer.
Right. A man's home is his castle.
Right. Castle.
The next morning, Henry Doyle proved it. He conferred with the U.S. District Attorney, who in turn conferred with Washington. And the upshot of all this was...
The object now resting in the backyard of Mr. Henry Doyle is, until proved a menace to public welfare or hostile to these United States, his property, and shall remain inviolate.
The Army didn't agree. Neither did the police or any other law enforcement agency. A battery of heavy guns, 8 tanks, a machine gun unit, 2 flamethrowers, as well as a picked company of commandos were brought to the scene. The road was blocked off, and the siege of the Doyles' residence began. 5 days later, the saucer lay, still glowing quietly, and Mr. and Mrs. Doyle stood by the incinerator watching it. Betsy surmised...
If they're afraid of us, you'd think they'd try and get away.
Well, maybe they're biding their time. Must all be as strange to them as it is to us. Fine welcome they must think they're getting. That is, if they've got some kind of instrument inside that can see what's out on the road.
You know, I still can't understand how the people inside the saucer get out.
It's funny. I've been over the thing 12 times. There isn't even a seam I can see.
Do you think maybe we ought to let those scientists take a look at it? They can't hurt us.
No. Now, don't you start. This is ours. You let one of those fellas get a hand on it, and the next thing you'll know, we won't have our flying saucer anymore. No.
Dad,
Now, what is it, son?
There's about 40 men at the front door. Here from newspapers. They want to talk to you.
Oh. All right. Tell them to wait. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay, Dad.
Oh, Henry. It is wonderful, isn't it? Nothing like this has ever happened to us. I never thought it would.
You know, old Catacomb at the bank called me yesterday. Offered me the vice presidency.
No.
Yeah. I didn't tell you because that's nothing to what offers we'll get. Honey, this is our big moment. It's our big moment in history. History, Bets. I'm not going to let this get away from us. I've waited all my life for it.
What are you going to tell the newspaper men?
Whatever they want to know. Come on. We'll see them together. Gentlemen. Now, gentlemen, you've asked my opinion of the object. Do I think it is a ship from out of space? So, gentlemen, my answer is yes. In due time, as soon as the government and I come to terms and that ridiculous show of force outside my house is withdrawn, you will be allowed to see the thing and to take your pictures. Well, gentlemen, that's all I can say for the moment. I know you'll excuse me. There are many things to attend to.
Henry, you're wonderful. You sounded just like a senator, even a president.
Oh, no. I'm still plain old Henry Doyle, your loving husband, whose home is his castle.
A senatorial committee came to investigate. Henry was polite, allowed them to see his saucer, but no more. And the word spread until there wasn't a corner of the globe that didn't know about Henry Doyle and his flying saucer. A week later, the Supreme Court was in session debating the district attorney's decision. The country was divided. Half said the saucer belonged to Henry. The other half thought it was a shame. They never quite made clear what the shame was, but it was. The Doyles never budged. But it was the small Doyle, Dickie, who one evening, 3 weeks after the thing had landed, noticed what was taking place in the backyard.
Dad, Mom, the saucer.
What about it?
Something's happening to it.
What?
The light's going out.
Oh, that's silly. It couldn't.
It is.
He's right. It's not as bright as it was. You can almost see it getting dimmer.
What do you think's happening?
I don't know.
Maybe they're going to come out now.
I don't know.
Henry, I'm afraid.
Oh, no, you don't have to be.
Something's wrong with it. I can feel it.
Oh, no, that's silly. It's the people inside I'm worried about. Maybe it's the power supply or their own special air.
I'm
Maybe
afraid.
It's getting dark awful quickly, Dad.
We've got to do something.
What?
Maybe the scientists. Yeah, that's it. The scientists. You go and call them. They're at the Grand Hotel. All of them. Hurry, Betsy.
The scientists came. Grave and wise, they rapped on the thing, listened with super stethoscopes, took readings on wonderful electronic devices, and shook their heads. That night, at exactly 11:04 p.m., the glow went out. And as it did so, the saucer began to shrivel, grew smaller and smaller. The group watched silently.
Can't somebody help? It's just melting away.
What can you do?
It's dying. Henry, it's dying. We've got to help.
I don't know.
If we could get a sample of the substance, but we can't make a
Oh,
difference.
I won't have you banging on it like that when it's dying. Stop it! Stop it!
Honey, Bets.
I mean it. Let it alone.
It's no use anyway. It'll be gone soon. You can stop. It isn't any good.
It was alive, Henry. It was alive.
Honey, no. There were people in it. People from another planet. They couldn't live on Earth, that's all.
No, you're wrong. I feel as if I've lost... Oh, I don't know, like losing Dickie. I tell you, it was alive. There wasn't anyone inside. That's it. That thing is all of it.
You're tired, Mrs. Doyle. Why don't you go inside?
Oh, you're
Rest-
fools. A woman knows. It was an animal, or maybe like us, only made differently. It
It's almost gone.
Yes. It's too bad we couldn't have examined it earlier.
Dad, listen.
It's gone.
Yes.
Did you hear that sound?
Yes. Almost like a voice sighing.
I wonder.
On the spot where the thing had rested, there was nothing, not a fragment. And although they didn't know why, the scientists and Henry Doyle stood for 5 minutes, just looking. Nobody spoke a word, and there was a great quiet, a sadness in the air.
I feel sad.
Strange. I do, too.
Dad, why are you crying?
Am I? That's funny.
Mom was crying, too. What's happened?
They all went away, silently. The scientists, the guns and tanks, the soldiers and police. And finally, only the Doyles were left in their house, which was their castle.
Do you really think it was alive?
Yes. I think it was hurt and fell down, and we didn't understand.
If I hadn't been so selfish, wanting to keep it to myself, we might have saved it.
No. No, it's probably better this way.
You know, everybody felt what you felt. Sad. Even the general. And the scientists.
I wonder what it was. Where it came from.
Somewhere up there. Perhaps one day, another will come.
Suspense, in which Truda Marson and Hy Averback starred in tonight's presentation of Heavens to Betsy. Be sure to be listening for next week's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Suspense is produced and transcribed by Anthony Ellis, who wrote tonight's script. The music was composed by Rennie Garrigan and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Victor Perrin, Byron Kane, Richard Beals, Virginia Eiler, Barney Phillips, and Howard McNear.
Dr. Jim Brent, a young, skillful doctor, shows determination but little talent in caring for his family after the death of his wife. The problems that beset him on his road of life are yours to listen to Monday through Friday in the daytime on most of these same stations. It's Road of Life, another great daytime dramatic program in the family of daytime shows millions hear every day at the Star's address. On CBS Radio tomorrow, The Road of Life continues.
It's intermission time at the Bah Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. This week, guest quacking on the Bah Ghoulie Show, Waddle the Duck. And here's Waddle.
Hey folks, Waddle from Watchwaddle here. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. And if you're considering getting a new radio to listen to them, why not get one with the newest innovation, the 4-speed record player? Because available now is our newest hits from Watchwaddle Production. Check out me and the gang and our hilarious, zany, and crazy tunes, filled with spoofs, gags, and jokes. Available in our playlist collection. Check 'em out for some cheap laughs and running gags. Whoa! And when we say running gags, we ain't kidding, brother! Screwy Forest's Watchwaddle cartoons. Available on Channel Watchwaddle. The Bah Ghoulie Show is brought to you by OTR Halloween Holidays. Good evening, Ghoulies. Hope you're all enjoying the radio show. Don't forget tonight's Midnight Spook Show over at Channel Watchwaddle's Darkness of the Hours. So be sure to have yourself a cup of coffee and stay awake. Now, back to our radio show.
Wheaties present Dimension X.
Adventures in time and space, transcribed in future tense.
Dimension X. On stage tonight, Dimension X, another in the Wheaties' big parade of exciting half-hour presentations.
I don't mean to be too personal, mind you, but have you found out how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11? It's really very easy to find out, you know, and it's mighty worthwhile. Now, what you do is this. Come breakfast time some morning real soon. Dish yourself up a bowl of Wheaties. Crisp, golden flakes, 100% whole wheat. Add some fruit, add milk, and you'll be getting some real nourishment. And at 11 a.m., I think you'll begin to understand why. Because Wheaties have it. The whole wheat energy that makes such a difference come mid-morning. Wheaties have it, and it's for you. Now see if you don't look better, feel better, smile easier every day that breakfast begins with Wheaties. I know, I do. See for yourself how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. It's amazing, really.
Do you remember when you were young, how your elders would tell you bedtime stories about the man in the moon? Well, tonight we have a different kind of story to tell about him. A story of suspense in the unknown world of the future, where anything can happen.
Attention. Attention. This is the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons calling all local agencies. Attention. This is a coded report nationwide. Missing since 9 o'clock this morning the following persons. Smidgley Jonathan, 5 feet 8 inches tall, brown hair, brown eyes, mastoid.
Hello.
Hey, get off this wavelength. This is a restricted band.
Hello.
Look, whoever you are, you're on a coded wavelength. Now tune out. This frequency is reserved for the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons.
Hello, Earth. This is the moon calling Earth. Hello, Earth.
This guy's loony. Transmitting room.
Jake in transmission.
Jake, this is Charlie in the code room. Some crackpot's on our frequency.
Yeah, I heard him, Charlie. I've got CQ trying to trace it now.
Yeah, well, hurry it up, will you? Some ham's in for a good stiff fine by the FCC.
They ought to take his license away. Oh, here comes Lenny with a directional fix. Here you are, Jake. I checked it 4 times. What? This is impossible, and you know it. I can't help it.
Hey, what's going on down there? How about it? Get that ham out of my killer sight.
Listen, Charlie, that interference is being beamed from 240,000 miles away.
Oh, now, Jake, you know there ain't no such thing as 240,000 miles away.
Oh, yes, there is, Charlie. Straight up.
Straight... Hey, now, wait a minute.
Charlie, that signal's coming from the moon.
The moon? Are you nuts?
Somebody might be bouncing it like a radar signal.
Radar on this frequency? Where did you study basic radio?
Listen, flathead, you asked for a fix. I gave the best fix our instruments can find. Now take it or leave it. Somebody on the moon is calling the Bureau of Missing Persons.
Mr. Timken.
What's the sweat, Charlie? Shouldn't you be broadcasting?
Now, listen, Mr. Timken, you know I'm a sober citizen, right? Never once have I broadcast with the smell of alcohol on my breath, right? In all your 12 years here at the Bureau, did I
What's
once...
the matter, Charlie?
We're picking up a message on our wavelength.
Well, did you report to the FCC?
I ain't got the nerve.
Well, what's wrong?
You'll scream when you hear this, Mr. Timken. You'll jump right out the window, but we are getting an SOS from the moon. That's got it. Started on voice and switched to Morse.
What did he say?
Let's see now. Can you read me? Help Otterburn. Will contact when the moon is in phase.
Otterburn.
Sounds like a name.
Otterburn. Otterburn. Holy jumping Jehoshaphat.
Hey, where you going?
To talk to the chief.
Hey, now, wait a minute. What are you going to tell him? We just got a CQ from the man in the moon?
That's exactly what I'm going to tell him, Charlie.
What? Oh, no. This is too much for me.
Washington Star-Ledger.
Let me have O'Brien on the city desk, huh?
One moment. O'Brien speaking.
Seamus?
Yeah?
This is Charlie Starbuck down at the Missing Persons Bureau. You want a hot one? No kidding. This'll cost you a beer, okay?
Shoot, Buck. I'll stay in your wavelength for 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. We just got a radio message from the moon.
What?
From the moon.
Call me back when you're sober.
Okay, Seamus, if you don't know a story when you see one.
I'll send you the name of a good psychiatrist.
Dad.
So long, Orson Welles.
Well, Orson Welles? Hey, how do you like that? He don't believe me.
Otterburn, Mr. Wade. Does that name ring a bell?
You're the man with the photographic memory, Henry. What about Otterburn?
Cornelius Otterburn, atomic physicist, reported missing from his home in Baltimore on June 5th, 1945, just 5 years ago. Vanished completely.
Are you trying to tell me you really think there's something to this man in the moon business? Henry, I'm surprised at you. This is some crackpot trying to jam the airwaves.
But the name Otterburn is so unusual.
So are a lot of names.
Mr. Wade, I have a theory.
Henry, you always have a theory.
But, Mr. Wade.
Out, Henry.
Mr. Wade.
Out. I'm busy.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Henry. Oh, here, take this folder of reports for the death file.
Oh, yes, sir.
And no more nonsense, eh, Henry? I appreciate that you have a very dull job filing old missing person reports, and I appreciate that you take an active interest in the affairs of the Bureau. But, no more nonsense, hmm?
No, sir, Chief. No more nonsense.
Oh. Pardon me.
Hmm?
Are you Mr. Henry Timken?
That's my name.
Permit me, Jefferson Philo, scientific feature writer. May I have a moment of your time?
Certainly. Just sit down at my desk right over here.
Thank you. My, that's quite a stack of papers.
Filing. I'm the records custodian of the Bureau. 12 years and never misplaced a record.
Magnificent. Now, Mr. Timken.
Yes?
Mr. O'Brien, the editor of the Star-Ledger, said I might drop by and investigate a rumor. Only a rumor, mind you, that a message from the, moon?
Well, we aren't certain it's from the moon. It may be a bounce. They have bounced radar waves off the moon, you know.
Yes, I know. I wrote the first newspaper article on it.
Oh, really? Well, I'd be interested to read it.
I must have a copy in my briefcase.
Well, don't bother.
Oh, but I insist. There you are. I'll leave it on your desk.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, about this message from the moon, Mr. Timken.
Well, we don't know for sure, as I said, but I believe that this message, wherever it originates, is from Cornelius Otterburn.
The physicist?
Oh, you know him.
I once wrote an article on his contribution to nuclear mechanics. A brilliant man, Otterburn, years ahead of his contemporaries.
Well, whoever is sending those signals, if he isn't on the moon, is at least using the moon as a sounding board, bouncing the signal.
But why, Mr. Timken? Why?
Look here, Mr. Philo. If you will come here tomorrow night at 8, we may learn the answer to that question. I have arranged with Charlie, our radio man, to let me use the equipment.
May I consider this an invitation?
You certainly may.
Very well, sir. Until tomorrow night, then. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Philo. Goodbye. Lack-a-day. Now, let me see now. Oh, that's funny. Where did this list of names come from? Paul Aarons, astromathematician. Robert Simons, electronic engineer. Carl Parker, mining specialist. Oh, this must have got mixed up with the papers on my desk by accident. It's a peculiar list of names. Most peculiar. Good morning, Charlie.
Oh, hi, Mr. Timken. I see we made the papers.
Oh?
And how? Mr. Chief steamed up about it.
What did the paper say?
Mostly ha-ha. Here's the Herald.
Oh?
Oh, brother, what a panty.
Uh-huh. Oh, dear. Oh, my. No wonder Mr. Wade is hopping.
About tonight, Mr. Timken, I don't know.
Now, you promised you'd give me a key to the radio room, Charlie.
Yeah, but I didn't expect this.
Listen, Charlie, we've got to find out if there's something to that message. If Otterburn is alive somewhere and radioing for help, it is...
Hold it. Time for the morning broadcast. We've got quite a list today.
Well, do you mind if I listen a while? We may hear Otterburn.
Oh, I ain't self-conscious. Stick around. Attention. Attention, this is the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons calling all local agencies nationwide. This is a coded broadcast. The following persons are missing. Aarons, Dr. Paul, 5'5", brown hair, brown eyes, scar on left side of chin.
Aarons?
Thick glasses, occupation astromathematician. Missing since 6 o'clock this morning. Being sought by Bel Air police.
Charlie.
Repeat, Dr. Paul Aarons.
Charlie, shut it off a second.
Oh, now, listen, Mr. Timken. It's okay to stay, but you can't interrupt.
This is important. Now, what time was Dr. Aarons reported missing?
6 a.m. We got the report from Bel Air less than an hour ago.
Are you certain, Charlie?
Yeah, positive. What is this?
Charlie, what's the next name on the list?
Let's see. Simons, Robert.
What?
Engineer. Came in less than 20 minutes ago.
20?
What's the matter with you? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Nothing, Charlie. Except that last night, quite by accident, someone left a list of names on my desk, and that list included the names of those 2 men who weren't reported missing until an hour ago.
What? Yeah, that don't sound right to me.
It isn't right, Charlie. Which raises a question. Who would make up a list of missing persons before they were missing, not after?
Dimension X will continue in just a moment. You know, friends, when I talk about Wheaties Breakfast of Champions, I mean something like this. Champions do eat Wheaties because they feel Wheaties give them energy they need and because they just plain like the way Wheaties taste. And even though they are champions, that isn't unusual. Sort of the way you and I look at it, isn't it? Here's Ed Prentice with a perfect illustration of my meaning.
Now, young man, will you tell us what you do for a living? I pitch. You what? Pitch. You know, baseball. When you have a baseball team, you have to have a pitcher. I'm a pitcher. I pitch.
Oh, yes, I see. And are you on a team?
Yes, sir. I'm on the Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians, What is your name, young man?
I'm Bob Feller, and you know it as well as I do, Ed.
Sure I do, Bob. It's good to see you. This makes your 14th season playing with the Indians, doesn't it?
Yep, Ed. 14 years.
Well, tell me, Bob, how long you been eating Wheaties?
Oh, about 20 years, give or take a couple.
You mean you started eating Wheaties before you started playing ball?
Why, of course. What's so strange about that? Most people start eating Wheaties before they get to playing ball. In fact, most people never start playing baseball. You don't have to be a ball player to enjoy the lift you get from Wheaties with milk and fruit.
You're right as rain, Bob. No champ ever said a truer word about Wheaties.
Breakfast of Champions.
And you say this list of names was left on your desk accidentally?
I believe so, Mr. Wade.
Do you have any ideas?
Well, it's hard to say. Mr. Philo left some papers from his briefcase.
Mr. Philo?
A science feature writer.
I see. You were the leak on the story, then?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm afraid I was. I didn't think it would be treated as a laughing stock. Well, we'll deal with that later.
What's this Philo like?
Well, he's strange. Bald, thick glasses, tall. Seems to know a great deal about scientific data, but being a science writer...
Is there any other possibility?
I don't know. But I do believe that this is all hooked up with the broadcast from Otterburn.
That seems like a very remote possibility.
A missing persons bureau deals in remote possibilities, Mr. Wade.
Henry, I do not require a statement of policy. What's the theory?
Mr. Wade, I have discovered that each year literally thousands of persons vanish, leaving no trace. They are never located. Where do they go? Nobody knows. And they disappear in interesting cycles.
What sort of cycles?
Occupations, for example. One year we'll have a run on, say, coal miners. Next year the proportions of engineers increases, then scientists...
What do you think happens, Henry?
I don't know, Mr. Wade. But I'm beginning to suspect that somebody else has discovered the same phenomenon. Even to the point, perhaps, of being able to predict who will turn up among the missing next.
Philo?
I don't know. But I would like to find out.
And you think Otterburn may be a part of this picture?
I definitely do, Mr. Wade.
Henry, do you honestly expect me to buy an idea like that?
Well, it's more than an idea. The two top men on this list are missing.
Maybe so, but the rest of them aren't. Parker, Watson, Gibbs.
Well,
I saw Parker in the restaurant where I had lunch today.
Yes, sir, but
and if you think I'm going to make myself a laughingstock by putting any belief in such a crack-brained theory...
Well,
Excuse me.
Yes.
Hello, Wade speaking. Yes? Yes, I see. What name? Just a moment. Henry, let me see that list again.
Oh, yes, sir. Here you are, sir.
Go ahead. I see. I'll get back to you. I guess I owe you an apology, Henry.
Yeah. Sir?
Carl Parker was just reported missing.
Parker?
The third man on your list.
Holy mackerel.
Exactly. Henry, perhaps I've underestimated you. Maybe this time you really stumble onto something.
What do you intend to do, Mr. Wade?
I don't know. I haven't thought it out yet.
I was planning to listen for another broadcast tonight in the hope that Otterburn might try to contact us again.
I'll join you.
I also invited Mr. Philo, the science feature writer, you know.
I'll be glad to meet him. I'm beginning to get interested in your Mr. Philo.
Mr. Wade, you don't think...
That he's mixed up in this? I don't know, Henry.
Well, Mr. Wade, let's contact the police.
No, Henry, I think we're better off keeping this between ourselves for the moment. I don't want the police laughing at the Bureau if you're wrong.
I don't know, Mr. Wade.
Besides, there may be more danger than you realize. Let's keep it quiet. Shall we, Henry?
Yes, sir. I didn't realize there was any danger.
8 o'clock. Friend Mr. Philo was late.
He said he'd be here, sir.
Moon is almost in direct phase. You can't wait much longer. You'd better switch on the set.
Yes, sir.
I'll have to light in the hall for Mr. Philo when he comes. Are you getting anything?
Well, just some foreign stuff.
Programming from Johannesburg, South Africa. We continue in Africa.
Oh, no, dear. That's a very peculiar transmission sound. That sounds like something. See if I can work the selector here.
Moon is in phase.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I'll try to return. Hello? Hello?
Hello. Hello, Earth.
Hello, do you hear me?
I get you now. Thank God.
Who are you? Can you hear me? Who are you?
This is Professor Cornelius Otterburn. Hello?
Go on, I hear you.
Not much time. They're on to me. They've located my sending point. You hear me?
Go ahead, keep talking.
I've only enough oxygen for a few minutes more.
Well, where are you?
I'm on the Earth side of the moon. You get that? The Earth side of the moon. A volcanic crater.
Good Lord. Start that recorder, Mr. Wade. Go on, explain, please. Explain, please.
Closely. There's an Earth colony on the moon. There is an Earth colony on the far side of the moon. Made up of renegade scientists and criminals. Professor Ernst Holtzman.
Holtzman, he died in an insane asylum in 1938.
Professor Ernst Holtzman discovered nuclear rocket power in 1935. Turned his plans over to escaped inmates of the asylum. They took off and set up a colony on the far side of the moon in 1938.
Go ahead. We're recording you.
Each year, they recruit new colonists from Earth. Slave labor mostly. Some women, scientists. The oxygen problem is a big one. I was kidnapped in 1945.
Yes, we know. Keep talking.
They wanted me to work on atomic drive with their flying discs. Hello?
We're still getting you. Go on.
6 others and I escaped.
Speak louder.
Not much oxygen left, getting weaker. We pulled what little oxygen we had. The others, dead now. Thank God I reached you. You've got to stop them. Stop them.
Stop who?
The moon colony, planning to take over the Earth. Listen, they have agents on Earth. Hear me?
Agents on Earth? Where? Who? Hello? Hello?
Agents in...
Henry, look out. There's a light. Someone at the window. Get down. Henry, are you all right? I think so. Oh, his shot smashed the transmitter.
Strike a match. Careful.
Whew, that was close.
I got a look at him. From the description, it was your Mr. Philo.
Well, we got a recording anyway, but not the most important part of the message.
Henry, we've got to get you out of here. You said they have agents. Philo's probably one of them. He'll be looking for you now, trying to kill you.
The police,
You
Mr.
think
Wade.
the police would believe a fantastic story like this? People being kidnapped to the moon as slave labor? Moon colony planning an invasion of the Earth? Henry, believe me, they'd clap us into straitjackets before we could finish.
We've got to do something.
We need time to get proof.
Well, we can't walk out of here. Philo's probably
We
waiting.
can only figure some way. Wait, I know.
How?
Listen. There's a service elevator that leads to the basement garage. My car is there.
Mr. Wade,
By
let's
the
call
time
the
the
police.
police get here, we'll be dead. You think Philo will wait outside all night? Come on. This is the basement. Come on. Keep to the side.
Yes, sir.
Shh. Here's the car. All right, Henry. You open the garage door, then jump into the car. We'll make a dash for it.
Where can we go?
I have a farm outside Chevy Chase. It's private, miles from the nearest neighbor, and completely hidden by trees. We'll run for that. Go ahead, start the door up.
All right, Mr. Wade.
Quick, jump in.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Cross your fingers, Henry. We made it out all right. Anything doing?
Well, there's a blue coupe behind us. It seems to be following.
I'll cut up Pennsylvania Avenue and out Route 1 toward Baltimore.
It is following. He turned with us. Can you go faster?
Not much faster.
He's gaining on us.
I've got an idea. Hang on, Henry.
Yes, sir. Why did you stop?
Turn off the lights, quick. It worked. He shot right past us. Now we'll double back and go out another route. I think everything's going to be all right now. We can be at my farm in less than an hour.
This place is really out in the wilderness, Mr. Wade.
You can stay here indefinitely till we figure out the next move. Just up this dirt road now, there's a big abandoned wheat silo on my grounds. It's down in a hollow where it can't be seen except from the air. And even then, the oak trees shield it. It'll hide you out there. Now, we can leave the car here. We'll go to see. Come on.
How did you ever find this place, Mr. Wade?
I've always liked seclusion. Came up here to get away from it all. There's the silo.
Well, it's certainly well hidden.
There's a small door around the side. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Oh, careful of those bushes. Hard to see them in the dark.
Do you suppose Philo will find us?
I assure you, Henry, that Mr. Philo will never find us here. Not in a million years. Here's the door.
It's pitch dark.
Hold my arm. I know the way. Just a few steps up, then another door.
Yes, sir. Steel. This is an unusual silo. Double walls, wood outside, steel inside.
Completely fireproof. An army couldn't wreck it. We're inside the inner shell. Careful. You're in a circular room. Stay here a moment. I'll go outside and see if the coast is clear. In a moment, your eyes will become accustomed to the darkness. I'll bring back some food and water.
Well, don't be long, Mr. Wade. This place gives me the willies.
I'll just be a moment.
Yes, sir. Mr. Wade. Mr. Wade. I swear I hear something. Mr. Wade! What's that? There is something. Good Lord. There's someone in here. It's locked. Oh, no. No, this must be a light switch. Oh, thank God. Oh, no. People. 10, 15, 20 of them. Mr. Wade! Help! Help!
Will do you no good to shout, Henry.
Mr. Wade, where are you?
Outside, speaking over the intercom.
Mr. Wade, there are people in here. 15 or 20 of them. They're sitting like statues just staring at me.
They won't hurt you, Henry. They've all been drugged. They're even more helpless than you.
Yes, but who are they?
Permit me to introduce them, Henry, since they're currently unable to introduce themselves. The gentleman seated before you is Dr. Paul Ahrens, the astromathematician.
Ahrens?
Next to him is Mr. Robert Simons, electronic engineer.
Names on the list?
Yes. They've all been recruited for work with Professor Halsman's group on the moon.
On the moon? Then you're one of them?
Of course. You'll turn around, Henry. You'll recognize the drugged form of your old friend, Mr. Philo.
Philo? But I thought...
That he was part of the conspiracy? No, on the contrary. His stooping made it necessary for me to include him.
Yes, but the man in the window, the one who fired the shots.
An agent of mine, the pilot of the ship.
Ship? What ship?
This silo is a camouflage for a rocket launching platform. In a moment, the roof will slide back for the rocket's takeoff.
A rocket ship?
In exactly 70 hours, you and your companion will join Professor Otterburn on the moon.
But you can't do this to me.
We have done it, Henry.
No!
You see, there was another name omitted from that list, which
No.
I carelessly mixed up with your papers. That of Henry Timken.
No!
Bon voyage.
I won't let you do this! You can't! Please let me out! Let me out, please! This can't happen! Let me out!
Attention. Attention. Missing since 8 o'clock last night. The following persons. Timken Henry, age 45, height 5 feet 8, brown eyes, slightly balding.
Tonight, Dimension X has presented The Man in the Moon, an original story by George Lefferts. Featured players were Louis Van Rooten as Henry Timken and Santos Ortega as Wade. Your narrator was Norman Rose. Music by Albert Berman, engineer Bill Chambers. Dimension X is produced by Van Woodward and directed by Edward King. In a moment, we'll tell you about next week's show. And now, here is your Wheaties man, Frank Martin. Everybody knows whole wheat has vitamins and minerals in quantities. Sure, no great trouble figuring that out. The trick is in making the whole wheat into crisp, toasty flakes like Wheaties, with all the good whole wheat things still in them, and with all the good, natural whole wheat taste. Well, do you know how the Wheaties people do it? Well, I'll tell you. It's simple. They use a whole kernel of wheat to make one Wheaties flake. You see? No wonder Wheaties are good for you. And you know how good they taste. Crisp, sweet as a nut, simply wonderful. How can you stand missing them, if you are missing them, when they're all that good, and all that good for you? Why don't you breakfast up to Wheaties tomorrow morning, huh? And see for yourself how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. Breakfast of champions. Yes, yes.
Next week, a strange and thrilling story of the foreign underground, of a brilliant young scientist and his wife whose only chance for escape from the secret police lay in a world that is beyond infinity, the world of...
Dimension X.
And this is the Wheaties man, Frank Martin, inviting you to listen tomorrow night to Joel McRae in Tales of the Texas Rangers on the Wheaties Big Parade. See you then.
This program was transcribed. Jack Blake tells the story of the underworld next on NBC.
Thank you, OTR Halloween Holidays, for another great Bah Ghoulie Horror Show. And now, join us on Channel Watchwaddle for our Midnight Spook Show.